It has been in the pipeline for decades, but now a grand railway network across Asia and Europe is well on schedule. The flagship project is designed to link 28 countries and could help some of the world's poorest economies blossom. In the southern part of the whole network, a railway connecting Kunming, the capital of China's Yunnan province, to Singapore is underway. The line is projected to pass 7 Southeastern Asian countries and will be completed by the year of 2020. The railways are touted as being able to provide multi-dimensional development for the ASEAN region, a rising economic powerhouse. The line, tentatively referred to as an Iron Silk Road, is also believed to be an impetus to push forward the Sino-ASEAN ties. CNC takes a closer look at the ambitious plan.
This is a construction site of the Mengzi-Hekou line in Yunnan province, southwest China. The railway under construction will start out at the provincial capital of Kunming to the north, winding its way across the Indochina Peninsula until finally reaching Singapore. But it won't stop there. Its blueprint links capitals, ports, and industrial hubs across 28 countries all the way to Europe. It's the first section of what, upon completion, will be a 114,000-kilometer Trans-Asian railway network. The agreement on the massive railway networks has been in the works since the 1960s. But the plans have been disrupted by wars and politics over the decades. It was not until a few years ago the Asian countries finally got around to putting these ambitious plans into action. China has been proactive in its construction. This year, Yunnan province alone plans to invest 100 billion yuan, or $16.3 billion on improving its transport infrastructure. This includes the Trans-Asian Railway-related construction.
The Trans-Asian Railway in Yunnan consists of 3 lines. The eastern line travels from Kunming, the capital of Yunnan province, to Yuxi, passing Mengzi until reaching its final destination of Hekou. By the end of this year, this line will be fully completed. The central line connects Yuxi, Pu'er, Xishuangbanna, and Mohan, then crosses the border into Laos. Now the preparatory work on the central line is also being pushed forward. The western line has 2 branches, one of which travels from Dali to Ruili. Its construction started in 2008. And the other is from Baoshan to Tengchong. The construction of the Dali-Ruili route has been incredibly complex due to the large portion of the bridges and tunnels the project requires. The line from Dali to Baoshan stretches 133 kilometers, including 103 kilometers of tunnels and 10 kilometers of bridges, the preparatory stages of which are currently being sped up. One of the major challenges in the construction of this line is a tunnel with a total length of 34 kilometers. It's the longest tunnel in Asia and the second longest in the world.
For Yunnan, a relatively underdeveloped region in China's west, the railway could mean better chances of growth.
In Yunnan province, there are still many poor regions, and the railway is believed to be an important tool in alleviating poverty. Once completed, the railways will play an important role in stimulating the economy in Yunnan.
For the world's second largest economy, Yunnan province has become part of its opening up strategy. During this year's national parliamentary session in March, Chinese Premier Li Keqiang urged Yunnan province to step up its opening up to Southeast Asia, promising central government support.
When the Trans-Asian Railway is finished, the transport distance from China's western areas to the Middle East and Europe will be shortened by about 3,000 to 5,000 kilometers in comparison with the traditional sea route.
China is also seeing the construction of the railway as an important artery that will allow it to nurture bonds with its Southeast Asian neighbors.
The past decade has witnessed a golden era for Sino-Asian ties. They have now entered a new decade of high-quality development. Enhanced transport links are key to this development, and the railway is a fitting solution.
Mr. Xu said the network will help less developed countries tap into their full economic potential as well as China's. along the planned Kunming-Singapore railway route like Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia. Progress in the construction of the planned railway varies from country to country, while people living in these countries are all excited by the prospect of a modern railway system.
Many Thais choose to travel by car, but it usually takes them half a day or even an entire day when going somewhere far away. When the high-speed railway is built, it will be a lot more convenient.
The China-Laos Railway will bring us many benefits. The trains will not encounter traffic jams, and freight transport will become more efficient.
And it won't just be residents who look to take advantage of the railway, with businesses itching to get involved.
Laos is a landlocked nation, which makes the railway more important, as it could facilitate freight transportation.
More Chinese tourists will come and visit after the rail line goes into operation.
In Laos, Latnamani Kunivan, the Vice Minister of Public Works and Transport, also heads a task team for the Laos-China section of the Trans-Asian Railway. He says the rail not only adds another link between neighboring countries, it could become an important means to drive regional economic growth.
In order to reach poverty alleviation goals by 2020, Laos is actively enacting its strategic development plan, keenly promoting modernization and industrialization. But as a landlocked country, Laos must first focus on solving its transportation problems.
Transport authorities in Cambodia agree, saying the Pan-Asian line will be crucial to the region's future.
The connectivity of the ASEAN Railway is crucial in linking the ASEAN, with its population of more than 600 million, with China and its population of 1.3 billion. When this project is completed, it will be very beneficial for transport, passengers, national economies, and especially the flow of goods and people between ASEAN and China.
In pushing forward the railway projects, countries along the Kunming-Singapore rail link face multiple challenges, including political issues, technological hurdles, and problems with funding.
In my personal observation, I think the major obstacle for this Trans-Asia network is still more to the political obstacle. Which means, in terms of the technology, who can provide the technology, who can provide the operations, as I mentioned, is either from Japan or from European Union or from China. However, personally, I feel that China, in terms of the technology progress and the technology advancements, is really ahead of the other competitors.
Professor Der Horn points to China's high-speed rail mileage and record for construction.
And most recently, in Turkey, the Istanbul, they have the high-speed rail, and it was basically using the Chinese system as well as the Chinese constructions. So in the international competition, I think now the Chinese company and the Chinese technology has already received a lot of the endorsements, not only from the China's own development, but also from the international community. So I'm personally more positive that in the future, the Chinese technology can be further adopted and be used in this Singapore-Kuala Lumpur high-speed rail.
Last year, Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak announced plans for the high-speed rail connecting Singapore to Kuala Lumpur, which is also one part of the Trans-Asian Railway. The line, stretching 330 kilometers, is estimated to cost $12 billion. When completed, it would take 1.5 hours to travel between the two terminals, just half an hour more than a normal flight. Transport officials in Laos and Cambodia also believe that China could play a leading role in the construction of the regional railway network.
The Laotian government has consulted with Beijing for a decade on railway construction. China has abundant experience and ample capital to build railways.
We hope to discuss loans with China in order to complete a third railroad in our country. The role of China in assisting Cambodia in the connection of this railway is very important.
China has proposed and begun practical work to establish an Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, which would offer financial support to boost the regional infrastructure.
Once the bank is established, the Trans-Asian Railway will be the first to benefit from it, with China expected to provide financial support to the mega-projects.
China is currently speeding up efforts to transform the country's economic growth model and upgrade its industrial structure. According to Xu, the construction of the Trans-Asian Railway fits in with China's grand strategy.
The Trans-Asian Railway is also tentatively referred to as the Iron Silk Road, as it will link China with its neighbouring countries by tracks.
The historic Silk Road was once worn to a dense chain of dusty trails by caravans of horses and camels carrying merchants between continental Asia and Europe. But from now, it would take the form of a series of transnational rail tracks transporting modern goods across the continents. The Trans-Asian Railway and Iron Silk Road will redefine the historic passageway.